Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Sacred Attachment, Escaping Spiritual Exhaustion and Trusting in Divine Love, by Michael John Cusick. Narrated by Benjamin Fife. There are two kinds of Christians, list makers and storytellers. Answering one question reveals the difference. What does it take to be a Christian? List makers will talk about doctrines you must believe or commandments you must keep. As long as you believe the right things or do the right things, that's what makes you a Christian. Storytellers, on the other hand, will say, "Let me tell you about my grandmother." That's when I lean in, because I find the art of Christian living far more compelling than a theological argument. It didn't used to be that way, though. When I was a young man, I relished the opportunity to jump into the middle of doctrinal scrums over Christian beliefs. But these days, I'd rather hear about an embodied faith, a story that must be imagined to be believed. Rodney Reeves. Chapter 1. Spinning. Escaping and experiencing God's embrace. There are parts of life that can't be gotten out of, and I have had to learn here that we are all, at the end, held somehow. Ta-Nehisi Coates. A bitter, cold Sunday morning, and the 7 Cusicks, including my 4-year-old self, are crammed into our maroon Pontiac station wagon for the long ride to Carmel of the Holy Family, a Roman Catholic convent. My father's sister is a cloistered Carmelite nun. In the unspoken pecking order of Catholic religious vocations, life as a Carmelite is the military equivalent of becoming a Navy SEAL, not for the faint of heart. The Carmelites go all the way back to the 1400s, like Saint Teresa of Avila, Saint Therese of Lisieux, and Saint John of the Cross. They make vows of chastity, poverty, and obedience, while choosing to withdraw from the world into a community devoted to contemplating the love and mystery of Christ. Family visits to Carmel felt like Christmas morning and Halloween wrapped together and placed under the tree. There were smiles and laughter, but it also felt a little spooky because once inside the convent, the nuns were restricted to greeting visitors from behind the grill, a metal grid of bars preventing the nuns from having physical contact with the outside world. So when you're 4 years old, no matter how much your parents explain about monastic vows and devotion to God, and you visit your aunt and a group of nuns behind bars, it still seems like you're visiting a prison full of women dressed like penguins. After the initial excitement, we kids would get bored and play in another part of the visitation room. As my parents would visit with my aunt, Sister Anne, the other 20 or so nuns would wander in and out to say hello. More joy and laughter, but no matter what, the greetings were limited to a hand reaching through the bars of the grill. My sister Colleen and I would sit cross-legged, rolling a ball back and forth between us, while my brother Jimmy hovered in the corner near the grill, playing with his Hot Wheels collection. When my sister and I got bored, we would wander over to the corner and begin to play with Jimmy's cars. In the corner of the parlor was a cabinet mounted on the wall and level with a counter. My parents and all of us kids sat in the room on one side of the counter. On the other side of the grill, the nuns had a counter of their own and would pull up chairs throughout the visit. Inside the cabinet was a metal cylinder that looked like a giant can of Campbell's soup. The cylinder was set upon a lazy Susan, allowing it to spin around so that visitors and nuns could pass food or gifts or other items back and forth. I don't remember what prompted my brother to do what he did that day. Jimmy was about 10 then, 6 years older than me. I naturally looked to him for guidance and usually followed along with whatever crazy ideas he might present. So with the adults preoccupied in grown-up conversation, Jimmy lifted me up into the cab.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?